Outside the Box Reviews, we are looking at the Minimates, Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Comic-Con exclusive black and white box set. Now, despite the packaging saying this is the Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this is obviously the original comic styling of the Turtles from their first appearance, and in the iconic black and white of the comic book. I believe this same set is getting a color version released to normal retail later this year, where the Turtles will be in full color sporting red bandanas, but because this is a really unique reflection of the comic book, and I found it at a comic shop for retail price, I figured I'd pick it up and review it. So this set, of course, does come with all four Turtles. We have Leonardo on the left, Raphael up front, Donatello to the right, and in the back there we have Michelangelo. All four pretty much use the exact same body. We'll take a look at the similarities and differences between the four. Each of the four Turtles comes with this standard little Minimate display base, but instead of being clear like they normally are, this is a nice gray plastic with the detailing on it to resemble a sewer lid. It's a very nice little base. I love that all Minimates seem to come with these bases now. Back when I first started collecting the Universal Horror ones, they didn't come with bases at all, and it just makes it so much easier to display them when they have one. And having a unique base that represents the property they're from is even cooler in my eyes. On the Turtles' feet, they of course have large peg holes, so you can just pop whichever foot you want onto that one peg, and they're ready to go. Leonardo, of course, comes with his signature katanas. Everything in here is done in grayscale, but they did put a nice silver on these blades, which is really nice. You have the gray wrappings there around the middle with some great detail put in there. For a very simple little Minimate sword, so really nicely done. Leo also has the dual sheaths on his back, so you can actually take the weapons and slide them right in there for easy storage. In my mind, this is an absolute must with any Ninja Turtles figure, so I'm glad it's here. Donatello probably is my least favorite weapon of the set. He does have his bow staff, but it's a very, very flimsy material, so it does tend to bend a lot. But it is a nice wood grain texture sculpted in there. Then we have the wrappings in the middle, done in the grayscale again. Donnie has a single loop at the back of his belt. We can slide the bow staff in there. It's a nice tight fit, so it's not going to fall out easily, which is great. Raphael has his two sides. We see once again silver blades, but they're so silver, they almost feel like they're translucent in the light. But they are silvery painted. Then we have the gray wrappings just like Leonardo had. Very simple but effective little weapons here. Raph also has storage on his back. He's got the two little ports. We can just slide his size in there and they're ready to go. Michelangelo comes with his two nunchucks. You can see on here they have the chains sculpted in there, so it is a soft plastic, but not soft enough where you could extend them out or anything, but it's a nice painted metal in there. We have the wrappings down here at the individual handles. Mikey has the ports in the back, and you can peg the nunchucks back there. You can have them going up or down, whatever your preference is. They look great either way. And then Mikey comes with the added accessory of two spinning nunchucks, which is actually what sold me on the set. They're both identical. We can see the handle has a slight curve to it, which really just helps in positioning these, because if they were straight, they kind of hit Mikey in the head with the limited articulation of a Minimate. But same detailing here on the handle, and then a clear piece of plastic. You can see the sculpted in movement lines. It's really cool. It's a bit on the thick side, so if you're looking at it directly from the side, it looks kind of strange, but an overtop view just looks spectacular. I absolutely love this accessory. It's a little hard to get them to hold them because they are fairly heavy, and of course they just have the C-clip Minimate hands, but it's really neat when you get the effect going. Every turtle basically features the same body here besides the weapon storage. So we do have the standard boxy Minimate torso, then we have this added piece over top, a softer rubber piece on all of them. The front is the same. We have the tied off belt with some nice wrinkles sculpted in there done in a gray. The shell is much whiter, and then we have the black almost ink marks on there straight out of the comic, which I really love. Coming around the back we have the shell. Now depending on the way the weapons store on the figure, you can either see more or less of the shell, but the same basic sculpts there and all. You see the little basic turtle patterns there. The little tail coming off the bottom, which I love as a nice little touch there. Back of the shell is done in a darker, almost black, and the tail is done in white. We have the arms, more painted on lines mimicking the comic style. We have the elbow pads, which are hard to get over the elbows. They really kind of swing around to the front, but if you play with them enough, you can get them close to the elbows at least. Wrapping around the wrist, the standard Minimate C-clip hands, standard Minimate legs, so we do have more of that detailing on there as well, with these added pieces of the knee guards in a gray, and then specifically done turtle feet with the dual toes. Now each turtle does have a distinct face. Here with Donatello, we have kind of the mouth, we have the teeth bared on one side where it's closed on the other, the eyes looking very angry, some marks across the forehead. Of course, we have the bandana going off to the side. Leonardo, a little more stoic, pretty much the same eyes, but he's not baring his teeth at all, and we do have those same markings across his forehead. For Raphael, he's a step angrier than Donatello, both sides of his mouth bearing teeth. And of course, Michelangelo is the party dude. We can see the paint job here is just a hair away from Raphael, but the eyes are open wider and the mouth is definitely a smile rather than a scowl. For articulation, this is really the only area where I'm disappointed, but I know what a Minimate is, and I wasn't so surprised that they were limited. But the head really will just swivel. There's really no up or down motion. You can get a very, very minimal amount, but it's so tight up here with the extra torso piece that it's very hard to get that motion out of it. You have a ball joint at the shoulders, so you can go out to the side a decent amount, and of course forward and back. It's a little hindered by the shell, but you can kind of pull out to avoid it. We have a hinge at the elbow. We have a swivel at the wrist. The waist joint is basically negated by having the shell on here. It's technically there, but it does nothing. The legs can kick a little bit forward, a little bit back. They can go a decent amount out to the side. We have a nice hinge at the knee, and then we can swivel at the foot. And for comparison, here's another green Minimate done in a black and white style. The universal Gillman, creature from the Black Lagoon. And I don't know, I feel like this works. I feel like Michelangelo would find the Gillman and bring him home as his new buddy. And overall, I really dig this set. The more I see that Minimates has put out Ninja Turtle figures, the more I've been tempted to pick them up. I love what Minimates does with pretty much any license they touch. They're able to hit more obscure characters and include more obscure and crazy accessories. For 20 bucks here, I got all 4 turtles with all their iconic weapons, display stands, and even an action version of the weapon for Mikey. That's really impressive, and that's why I continue to go back to Minimates whenever they make a property I enjoy. I felt the same way when they did their Avengers Minimates. I felt the same way about the Universal Minimates. They're just a great value for money for any collector. So these guys get a very strong recommend. My only fear with this set, and it's a pretty minor one, is that they're going to make more. And they're not going to do them in this black and white style, or this black and white style being exclusive to Comic-Con for years to come. So if the color version of these as a general release is successful, and they go back and do comic version of Shredder and April O'Neil and Casey Jones and Splinter and whatever other characters they want to do, I'd be kind of disappointed that they might not make a black and white version. So I may still pick up the color version when that comes along, to be quite honest. Make sure you check me out on Instagram, username Outside the Box Reviews. Also follow me on Facebook, link below. And until next time, this has been our Outside the Box Reviews. I'm gonna go get some pizza. Cowabunga.